How you doing?
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. What about you?
I'm doing great. Anything I can do to help you?
Yeah, actually, I just had a question. I'm tackling this problem very much. I'm not able to figure this out.
Sorry, say it again. Your audio broke up a little bit.
Okay. I'm saying that I'm facing a problem and it's a major problem and I'm not able to solve that.
Tell me
I'm
the
having
problem.
actually in the past 4 days I was able to book around 12 to 13 meetings. I'm doing the outreach for 4 to 5 hours per day. And I was able to book 12 to 13 meetings, but the thing is that the show up rate is around you can say 20 to 25%. That's a very low show up rate, so I'm not able to figure that out, that how can I increase the show up rate.
So the show up rate is the issue currently. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay, got it. So currently, how are you getting people to show up to your sales calls?
actually I'm messaging them on messenger, Facebook Messenger, and I'm also doing the cold calls, and I'm fixing a time with them, and I'm following up with them with the regular messages after every 10 hours, and before 1 hour I'm sending a message, and before 30 minutes also. But the thing is that when I call them for the sales call and I send them the link, they don't join and they don't pick up the call.
Okay, so all of the outreach, all the people booking calls is from cold outreach. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so what has to happen is you have to understand the concept of selling your sales call. So when you're asking someone to get on a sales call for you, when they don't raise their hand, right? So with ads or inbound or referrals, right? What ends up happening is that person that is booking time with you is intentionally taking time out of their schedule because they have interest in working with you and they're interested in getting support from you for a result that they want, right? Let's say, for example, it's a pizza restaurant that saw, your ad related to having, a like a membership plan or like a review system that they want implemented for their pizza, a restaurant, right? And they click on the ad, they have intention because they want that result. When you reach out to the pizza restaurant and offer them this, membership package or this review package, they might be interested at the time, but then, whenever the call comes 48 hours, 72 hours later, they don't have the intention to show up. So there's a couple things you need to be considerate of for cold outreach. Number one, when you do cold outreach, try to book every single call within 24 hours, at the latest 48 hours. Now, that won't always be the case. You'll have plenty of calls that will be booked post that, but the show up rate will be significantly lower post 48 hours. So keep that in mind. Number two, when you book the call, explain to them the value of getting on the call, not the value of the result. Here's the thing, okay? The most valuable asset that we have is our time, not our money. But in order to give them the result that you're saying you're going to do with your smart AI, with your SaaS, with your marketing service, with whatever, what you're doing is you're saying, Christine, I want your time for free. And then I want your money in order to give you the result. That's a pretty big ask. So a lot of people will no show. So what you want to do is provide them for something of value for the time that they're giving you, even if they don't become a client. So for example, if I'm reaching out to a client, let's say an attorney, and I'm saying, hey, I know your time is extremely valuable. And so booking this call, right? It's very easy to look at your calendar in a day or two from now and decide to maybe not show up for whatever reason. You might have a case that you're working on. You might have other responsibilities. Your kids might want you to come pick them up from school, whatever it may be, right? And then obviously we don't become priority, which I respect completely. Time is the most valuable asset. So what I want to make sure that you understand is I know that I'm going to be able to give you valuable advice on this call related to X, right? And so let's say for this example would be, I'm going to show you how to generate more reviews on Google working with me or not. Meaning, if you come to this call, you will leave with a very clear understanding of how to do it. Now, I believe you'll want to pay me to do it for you because of the time requirement to do it. But either way, it's worthwhile to get more reviews because getting more reviews means that you will have a higher chance to get more cases coming to you organically. And that is a very important thing for an attorney to do. And I really believe it is worth 30 minutes of your time. Do you agree with me on that? Perfect. So I will see you then 100%. on Friday at 2:00 Eastern. Perfect. I'll see you then. It's extremely important that you do that during your any outreach or booking of conversations. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of people no-show you. That's pretty much the most important element, but there's other things. But does that make sense thus far?
Yeah, actually, the thing is that I don't qualify the leads. I just fix a time and I just expect them to show up. But I don't provide any. Yeah, I don't provide
that's
any value or like something that that would excite them to like show up on the call. I just say that like I can get you like 5 to 10 new clients, and like they seem like they think that it's like a fake thing or something. So like, could you tell me that like what can I actually say them so that they can show up on the meeting?
What's the promise that you're making to them by if they did show up on the meeting?
I'm not making any promise. I'm just
Why is someone booking a meeting with you? That's what I'm saying.
to get the results, to get like 5 to 10 new clients.
Okay, that's what they're booking the meeting for then, to get 5 to 10 new clients, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How do you get someone 5 to 10 new clients?
From our from the reputation management and like the Facebook ads integration with Apex,
Okay,
and
so
yeah,
reputation management and Facebook ads, yeah?
yeah,
So the thing that you need to focus on is the reputation management side of things, which is like, hey, what I'm going to do on the calls, I'm going to show you an audit of how your competitors are dominating the reputation marketplace in your area, and what you can do, just a few small tweaks that you can do to get more reviews, which would lead to more clients. On the call, I'll show you how you can do it. And if you want us to do it for you, you can pay us to do that, but it's not required. That's worth your time. Is that fair? That's the framing of how I would do it. Does that
yeah.
make
That
sense?
sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah,
Good. Cool beans.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah,
Of
thank you so
course.
much.
My pleasure, man. No problem. Hi, Heidi, Jenna, George. Hope you guys are, and ladies, are doing very well. Is there anything I could support any of you on specifically today? Just let me know.
Good stuff. I love the script that you just gave him.
My pleasure. I have plenty more in the arsenal. Just ask me whatever you need and I will take care of you.
Yay.
Any specific questions for me, Heidi? Any objections you're dealing with, sales obstacles, prospecting issues, business development? I got your back.
For me, I would say having like a script like that. I love what you just did. However, what would be like some of your other good scripts? I would want to keep it simple. I like what you said before, offering one thing like missed call text back or reputation management. What would be a good script for something like that?
Yeah, I mean, for missed call text back, that one's way easier. I mean, the reality is what I would be doing for missed call text back, I'm just going to say something. You don't have to like it or agree with it, so I'll just say that. I'm just going to preface what I'm going to say. But it's your call if you're okay with it. I'm okay with it. I would never judge anyone for it, but it's your decision. There's a way to avoid it, but I just want to share it with you. The missed call text back, currently, there is no audit feature to my understanding. Okay. I'm not pretending that I know every AI tool available. There's no way to know if someone already has a missed call text back feature like implemented in their business. I would say, again, making up this number because I don't really know, but probably like 90% of businesses or more don't have it, right? I mean, when you call a business, a local business, like a landscaper, and they don't pick up because they're on a job, what's the reality, Heidi? You're probably just going to call the second landscaper, and whoever picks up is the one that's going to get your business. Yep. But if that first landscaper had a missed call text back feature and it was like, hey, sorry that we missed your call. We're out of the office right now. But if you send us a text here letting us know what you need, we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And for missing your call, we're going to give you a 10% discount on your next service, or a 5% discount, or whatever it is. I don't know, right? Well, whatever that framework is, right? What you're doing is you just have to have a calculator. And so I actually have one, which I will share with you. And here's kind of the little white lie format that I was going to say. The little white lie format would be if you are comfortable with it. Again, it's your choice or not. I don't really care. But if you were to call someone and say, hey, I called you, no one answered, no one got back to me, even though you didn't actually call and no one ever got back to you, like that has to be your choice if you're okay with that. I mean, that's your call. But if you do that framework, basically what you're saying is, let's use this as an example. So if you're talking to a women's hair salon, if we just focus on this one, right? And you're like, okay, I just want to give you clarity as to why jumping on this call is super important for you, Heidi. Okay. I called you, all right, to get a balayage. All right. The balayage on average costs like $285. Is that right? Would you say that the average client value is like around $250 per person that comes to your salon?
Yep.
Okay. If you miss on average just about one-ish call a day or less, like 25 calls a month, let's say, and you close one out of every 4 people that call you, you're leaving on the table right now, just math alone, right? Just leaving on the table per month, at least $1,500 a month minimum. Okay. My product, the missed call text back automation that I'll show you, is going to be able to save you that amount of money. And we have to also consider that that amount of money is not just the amount of money you're saving. There's also the halo effect too. Every person that you do service for has the chance of coming back. Every person that you don't do service for has no chance of coming back. If someone calls your salon, does not show up because you didn't answer them, and they go to a different salon, the chance is 3 months later, when they want to go back to another salon, which one are they going to go to? The one that they went to originally because you missed their call, right? On top of that, when they have really nice hair and they go out to the girls' night with their friend and they have 8 other friends that are like, your hair's so nice, where'd you get it from? Whose salon are they talking about? Yours? Or the one that they went to because you missed the call. And so the idea of you leaving $1,500 on the table, that's strictly just based off of a rate of you missing 25 calls a month. And if you closed 1 out of every 4 of those, but it's significantly more than that when you consider all the reviews you're missing, all the referrals you're missing, all the returning clients that you're missing. If you give me 20 minutes of your time, I'll show you how we set up this automation. It will cost you, but it's no more than $300, which is a no-brainer. And I really believe it is a worthwhile use of your time to come on that call. Let me show you how it works, and I'll be able to help you make a lot more money over the next month, 6 months, and beyond. That's how I would do it.
Love it. And then when you get them on the call, what are you showing them?
I would show them the calculator. I'll give you this calculator. So it's really, really easy, by the way, to use. Like I'll show you so you can see. So if you just want to change this as an example, say that you say to a women's hair salon and they're like, oh, well, our average is a little bit lower. It's like 135. Or whatever, I put 134, who cares? And you're like, well, I don't think we miss 25 calls a month. I think it's half of that. You're like, okay, so you think you leave probably like 13 calls a month, roughly. And they're like, well, and I also think, by the way, we close way more than 1 out of 4. We're probably half. You're like, okay, let's be conservative though. Let's just say 40% for the sake of it. All right, in this scenario, again, right, you're leaving at minimum $700 a month on the table, minimum, okay? Minimum, not considering all the people that come back, right? Would you say it's pretty average that every person that you service comes back at least 1 time per year? They do, right? So double that amount, right? On top of the opportunity of more referrals, more reviews, et cetera. Our product is only $300 a month, right? Now, when you have these numbers, the ROI is good, but it's not as significant as an example of like if you use I thought I had roofing on here. Apparently I don't. Okay. It's like HVAC as an example. If the HVAC example is, average client value is $2,500 and they miss 10 calls a month and they close at a 30% rate. I mean, if you're telling them that you charge $400, but they're leaving $7,500 on the table, it's pretty impactful, right? But even at a low rate, right? Like a gym, like it's still a good amount of opportunity to make money back. Actually, this one's negative right here. So it'd have to be higher, right? So this one doesn't make sense mathematically, unless you talk about like the referrals and et cetera, et cetera. So you want it to make sense mathematically to where it's like you have a number that looks like this, where it's like, oh, well, that's a no-brainer. That's the idea.
Yes. Okay. And then they sign in. Do you do an onboarding fee with them, or do you just get them in?
It's your call. I mean, that's your choice, right? Like if you're using Extendly for onboarding and you're paying Extendly for the onboarding, I would have an onboarding fee. I would probably just package it into a 6-month commitment up front. If you could, that would be the most ideal scenario, with a free trial on the front end. So they have a 30-day free trial with a 6-month commitment on the back end. But because in the first month, you'll be able to show them like how many people you saved when the missed call happens, right? And it's a pretty valuable method to showcase. I like using the missed call text back feature. That's my favorite feature for HighLevel to simplify. The most common problem that I see with HighLevelers is trying to use like 75 features. And it's just really hard to do that when like one feature right there just proves like immense value. So that's kind of my thoughts.
And do you focus on doing this, or do you go back and upsell them to something different later?
Oh, absolutely. Always. My intention with every SaaS coaching that I do is always to get to a marketing play. Always. That's just a me personal thing, because the reality is like, and most people don't understand this in the SaaS business, there's this weird mindset around like, the utopia of SaaS, I think is the word. I'm going to write that down because it's a really good comment what I said. So I'm going to write that down. Give me a second. I'm speaking at the HighLevel event later this month. And so I definitely want to say what I just said. Utopia of SaaS. Basically what you believe it is, right? So it's like your imagination versus reality. And so the imagination for people is like, it's hands off. I don't have to do anything. It's very sticky. I make a ton of money from it. It's all revenue that is passive. But the truth of the matter is, in terms of what I've seen, that's only the case really if you have a good amount of money on ad spend or a really large amount of time to be very audacious to like go in person and do a bunch of stuff. But most people don't have either of those things. The majority of the people fall right in the middle where they don't have a lot of money and they don't have a lot of time. And so they put in the same exact amount of effort to get a $300 client as someone else would to get a $3,000 PPC client. It's the same amount of effort. And so in my recommendation for most SaaS businesses are get the SaaS product if you want as the front end product to get them in, get trust, build trust, and then use it as a leverage to then explain like, look, now that you have this, let's pour gasoline on the fire. If we invest into Facebook advertising, you're going to be able to generate significantly more calls, which the missed call text back feature will work even better for you when you miss more calls. And from that, you'll be at capacity. Are you anywhere near capacity right now for your salon? Oh, no, not at all. We're probably at 30% capacity. It's like, okay, well, it's just a math equation, right? I mean, if you invest $2,500 a month on ads and your average, client is $350. I mean, by the time you're at 10 additional clients per month, just 10, you're already $1,000 in the black, right? You're already $1,000 profitable. So it's a no-brainer. Like I'm confident I can get you 30 to 50 more clients per month. Let's give it a shot. That framework is always more valuable to me, in my opinion, because it's a 10x client. It's just there's a lot more work involved with doing marketing services, but I'm a big believer of it for sure.
Would you use the other features of HighLevel to do an
A lot of people are
upgrade?
using UpHex, but I don't know enough about it to feel comfortable or confident to recommend it. And I don't have any of my clients currently using it to the place where they feel really good about it, but I haven't heard anything super negative about it. So I would probably do that. But the way that I currently coach my clients is to work with a white label partner. So you work with a white label partner that has proven results in the niche, and then you use it as an upsell so that, we work with a SaaS business that is a $35,000 a month SaaS business in the mortgage space. And, all the mortgage brokers love the SaaS product, but they all want something that he is not providing them. And that is more leads, right? Because that's what everyone wants. And so he went to the market with to his market, his 35 clients, with an offer that we curated together in our program, Prospecting on Demand. And from that offer, he was able to sell 12 clients at $2,000 a piece. When you do the math at the $3,500 at 35 clients at 200, he made more money he made like 5x more money from 12 clients. So, it's just a really valuable method to have as an upsell. But I do see the value of SaaS. I want to make sure people are being cognizant of what it really does take to scale it and how much effort or work they're putting into a $300 a month offer. Is it pretty much equivalent to a 10x offer, which a lot of the times for a lot of people, it absolutely is, which is, how do I say this politely? Very dumb. That is the most polite way I could say it. I was going to use a really bad word, so I'm glad I didn't use it. But yeah, very dumb, very dumb. So
do you upgrade them in any way just based upon like reputation management, just the other subscription type things that don't include
absolutely
that?
absolutely yeah. I think for me, like you start with one feature, right? So you start with one, and then you identify the next major pain point because you built that trust. So major pain point due to trust building, and then I would always go for the higher ticket offer that fits best for them first, with a downsell framework. So like this would be the angle. Let's use the women's salon as the angle again. Okay. So we go in with the missed call text back. We prove over 3 months-ish that the missed call text back is clearly valuable to them. And we've built some relationship equity with this client because they're grateful that you convinced them to make this investment because it is a good thing for them. And then you explain to them, like, there's a lot more that we can provide to you. To me, I feel like the biggest thing is understanding if you're at capacity or you're at capacity. No, Heidi, we're probably at 40% capacity or so on average per month. We're profitable, but on average, per month, we're at 40% capacity. So you're saying you can have 60% more client influx and you would be significantly more profitable in that way. Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever been there? No. What would change for you if you were at capacity? Oh, I'd be able to open up another spa. I'd be able to, hire another esthetician. I'd be able to get another, hairstylist. I'd be able to free up more time. I'd be able to blah, 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 blah. Right? Whatever great things are about getting to that result. Say, look, I know right now you're spending $300 a month, which, to some businesses might be a lot. I think the reality is it's really not a lot to invest in marketing. If you're open to considering an investment that creates significantly higher, return on investment, I'm very confident I can get you closer to that 100% mark within the next 90 days to 6 months by implementing advertising. You ever considered ads for Facebook? Oh, Heidi, we've done it before. We got burned before. Oh yeah, you've been burned before by another company. I didn't maybe really understand your needs, but I think the idea of us working together on the missed call text back should prove clearly that we're not here to burn you, right? I'm only here to help you. I'm confident I can get you the right people into this, spa. And I think the easiest way to understand it is if you put $1 into an ATM machine, okay, and you got $10 back out, how much money would you put into the ATM machine? Heidi, I'd put unlimited dollars into the ATM machine. Okay, great. Let me ask you also, if you put $1 into an ATM machine and got $2 back out, how much money would you put into the ATM machine? An unlimited amount, Heidi. I'd put an unlimited amount. Exactly. Our goal is no matter what, you put $1 in, and no matter what, you get at least $1.10 back. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like, we're celebrating over a 10% return, but any return is a worthwhile investment, any return. And our track record's proven that we are consistently getting returns for our clients. Sometimes we get the 1 to 10, which is the best. Sometimes we get the 1 to 5, which is really good. Sometimes we get 1 to 2, which is good. All of the which, though, is still you put unlimited funds in. If you invest $2,500 per month and give me a 3-month commitment on it, I'm very confident that I can generate you more than enough clients to not only make that money back, but to get to that place where you can maybe consider hiring another stylist, not having to do all the styling yourself, feeling more comfortable that the business is operating without referral-based model consistently. This is the next stage of how my company can really support you. Go back and forth, see if it works out. If they're not going to do it for whatever reason, because a 10x investment or whatever is way too scary for them, which is fine, that's their prerogative. That's when you have the other angles. It's like, okay, well, you don't want to do this because of the risk. Let's pull a smaller lever then, right? We have reputation management. Reputation management's an additional $150 per month, much smaller investment, but that will allow you to do this, this, and this. Okay, let's pull the trigger on that. And now you're working towards that next stage, right? So that would be the framework. Does that make sense?
Oh my God, that's wonderful. Thank you. Very,
Of course. It's my pleasure.
So I have a question right now.
Sure.
Yeah, actually, like I just had a cold call right now. Like I called someone and he just called me back. So like when I was telling him about like what you told me just now, that I should like consider telling him that like I can show you how the reputation management works and how you can get the Google reviews. He was not even interested in that. He was a contractor and he was like, I don't care about that. I just can care about the reviews and all. Oh, sorry, the clients and all. So he was like not interested in that. So could you please tell me an alternative which is like to be honest, these contractors and landscapers are not that tech savvy and they don't understand these terms, right? So could you tell me like any other thing so that I can convince them to
I
show
don't
up
think
on the call?
I don't think I'm following that. Can you try to ask that again, please? Sorry.
Oh, no problem. I'm saying that like I just had a cold call right now. Like someone called me back. I called him like few hours ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so like you just told me that I can like to like increase the show rate. I can just say him that like I'll show you how you can like increase your Google reviews and that thing, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I just told him that only, but the contract, he was a contractor and he was not even interested in listening to that. He was just saying that I don't understand that and like I just need new clients. So like I'm asking that if you have any other alternative for this or
Yeah.
something else that I can say so that I can increase the show up rates for my meetings. That's what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
And what was the product that you were promising him? The reputation management?
No, actually, I was not promising him any product. It was just the case that like he called me and I said that yeah, I can get you some new clients, and he said that oh, that's awesome. So I said that yeah, so we can book a call and like you can tell me the time and all. And then after that, he told me that yeah, this is the time. And after that, I told him okay, wow, we can like schedule the call, and I can show you that how you can increase your Google reviews. And like I was just starting with the Google reviews thing, and he hung up the call. So I'm not sure whether he's having an appointment or not. I'm
Yeah.
not sure about
He's
that
not gonna, I
also.
mean,
Yeah.
obviously he's not going to show up to the appointment, but in
Yeah.
general, one of the things you want to be considerate of is the format of the what I call the plumbing metaphor. The plumbing metaphor is the concept of if your toilet breaks at your house, okay, and you call a plumber to come fix your toilet, okay, and the plumber says, I can fix it with my hand, I can fix it with a snake, I can fix it with a vacuum. What are you likely to say? You're more than likely to say, I don't care what tool you use. I just want it done as fast as possible, as inexpensive as possible, and I don't want it to break again, right? And so what you
Yeah.
do is when you explain to people, hey, I know you want more clients. There are many ways to generate more clients. There's reputation management, there's Google advertising, there's GMB, there's organic calling, there's SEO, there's boots on the grounds. There's literally hundreds of ways to generate more clients. What we've put together is a product that allows you to generate more clients at a low cost, low risk investment. And what I'll do on the call is show you exactly how to do it. So if you want to do it yourself without ever working with us, you're more than welcome to do so. But at the very least, you'll have insight on what it takes to get more clients just from our meeting without paying 1 cent. Are you open to doing that? That's the framing.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
I like
got
that.
you.
That sounded good.
I got you. No
Yeah.
worries. I'm happy to answer any questions and support in any way I possibly can. Nick, is there anything I could help you with today? Any questions you have for me? Any objections you're dealing with in sales? Any obstacles you're having in growing your SaaS?
Well, I'm just bummed I missed the first part.
No, you're good. You're good. No worries.
No, it was really
Um,
good. You missed a lot. Don't be late anymore.
I know. I'm sure I missed quite a bit. So right now, I've actually sold my first client, and my first client is not even in my niche market. My first client was like a tea store, like a tea and hemp retail store right next to the gym I work out at. And so I walked in and I talked to them. In fact, I walked to everybody in that little shopping strip center and just talked to them, just try to get my feet wet. And so I got 1 sale out of 6. So I guess that's not bad. But my real niche, like what I do is I do real estate and I do construction. So I know the service industry, I know the real estate industry. I do wholesaling, I do seller finance, I do remodel and flip. And so that's kind of where I'm at. But I'm right now, I'm developing, I developed a sub account for my Tu Propia Casa, which is my owner finance model. So I'm actually working on it from there. But meanwhile, I'm just still trying to sell because I want to get at least, break even with the SaaS and whatnot, at least have some stuff going on. So with all my battling, I think what I'm going at is I think the easiest two, I should just be selling the 2 easiest things, right? Which would be the BizCall text back and what was the other one?
GMB?
Reactivation,
Reviews?
reviews. I guess. I mean, what would
Are
be
you
your opinion?
asking me which one you should do?
Yeah. What would be your opinion? The 2 easiest. I mean, I think BizCall text back is a really solid one. And
Really
then,
just focus on one, like just to start, really just focus on one. Because when you focus here, I'll just give you a quick example if you haven't heard this before. If you've heard it, tell me, but I'm guessing you probably haven't. Nick, do you want a Snickers?
no,
How many options did I give you?
1. Yeah.
How many
Just give
options
me
do you get to choose from though?
2. Yes or no?
Three. Yes or no, or maybe. Maybe is actually the most common response. Maybe is any word veiled as I need to think about it. Let me talk to my partner. I'm not sure. Let's talk about it again in 6 weeks, right? Any of those conversations. Yes is I want the Snickers. No, I don't want the Snickers. Maybe is anything else, right? Here's another example. Do you want a Snickers or do you want a Twix?
Right. Now we've got confused
Now you
mind
have
can't make a
6
decision.
options. Now you have 6. Yes, no, maybe to Snickers. Yes, no, maybe to Twix. On top of the calculus, the arithmetic of the compare and contrast, which is by far the most challenging thing in the business, right? It's like, oh, well, should I do this? Because, it has the nougat, and then this one has this one has the chocolate with the wafer, but that one has the caramel, and it's like, and then they can't make the decision. Right? And so when they can't make the decision, that's when it becomes challenging. And so in this scenario, you're not offering them 2 options, right? But even though you're not offering them 2 options, they might perceive it as 2 options. Meaning, for example, you might say, no, the product is GMB and missed call text back, right? But they're like, I just want the missed call text back. Now they're in the stuck format of the Snickers or Twix, right? So offering one thing is just such a better model, and I cannot recommend it enough.
Okay. That's helpful. I'll definitely, yeah. So I got a week, this weekend we have a conference, well, it's a expo. And my mother is in the wellness business. And so she said, hey, why don't you come to this expo? It's going to be full of business owners, all wellness industry business owners, chiropractors, everything from palm readers to chiropractors to everything in wellness, right? And so I'm going to hit that up. And yeah, I like that. I'm going to.
Yeah, 100%. I think you have to figure out what's the best feature for all of those people. I don't really know what's the best feature for all of the wellness people. I don't think missed call text back is the most valuable, but could be. I mean, it's definitely valuable.
I'd probably do reviews.
What would you use?
I would do reviews.
Yeah, reviews is super valuable.
Yeah.
Anything that you can do to help people generate more online.
I think that social planner would be a good fit for them because they're not organized on socially on Instagram and TikTok. So yeah, I think that social planner can also be a good fit.
I think the problem with the social planner is that a lot of them don't want to, do the actual work, and they don't see the impact of it, and it's not fast enough. You want to consider anything in relation to any sort of marketing service at all, including SaaS, is speed to result. It's speed to implementation. Speed to result and speed to implementation is so important. Second. So anything that makes onboarding simple and easy, that doesn't require a massive tech upgrade, anything that gets a result fast, anything that's able to implement fast creates higher stickiness. The problem with a lot of people using HighLevel is that we get really nerded out on the tool, and we think that the prospect or the customer is going to get nerded out on the tool, but oftentimes they won't. And it's very, very, very hard to get someone to utilize a tool when they don't believe that it's going to get them what they want. But it's a lot easier when you do it with them at the front end, and then they have a quick result. As soon as a quick result happens, the trust level increases significantly. And so missed call text back is easy to have a very quick result on. Reviews, easy to have a very quick result on. Social planner can show results by posting, but I don't know if it's really going to move the needle the way we want to. Just my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm correct.
Right. No, I like that. So yeah, maybe reviews and missed call text back. I guess I just need to kind of go through all the features and just think about, okay, how can I help the majority of these people in there?
I think what I would do is it's also viable to have a couple features in your arsenal, but what you're selling is only one of them, right?
Right. So if they bust out with, I don't have a website. Oh, well, let me whip something together for you. I could definitely do that for you on this platform.
Actually, what I'm thinking is I have an offer for the clients. What I'm thinking is I can offer them a free plan, and on the free plan I can offer them free website, and a website is totally free. It's a pre-built template, and I can offer them a free website and a free hosting. And the thing is that like I can charge them around like $50 setup fee for the website, and I can like stay with them on a free plan, and after that they'll become my clients, and after that I can upsell them to a paid plan.
You can try
And on
that.
the
I think the obstacle with that is anything that's free requires zero, even if it's $50, just requires zero effort from the client, which then indicates, like, doesn't give you any indication whatsoever that they're interested in actually working with you and paying
yeah,
you.
but
And
yeah, but yeah, what I was thinking is like I can bribe them on the call, on the sales call. If they're not interested, I can bribe them with like I can offer you a free website, or on the cold call, like that I can give you a free website. Is that a good
I
strategy?
mean, the thing is though, it's not free for you. Like, you still have work that has to be put in to like make it their website.
Yeah.
And the reality is, like, a website is a valuable asset that costs a lot of money for most people. So offering it that way is counterintuitive. It will trigger the mindset of like, this is too good to be true. And when that's triggered, it's really hard to avoid that, right? Like, my framework for Nick particularly would be, if I'm going to the event and I know that the wellness industry could use any of the three features we're considering, right? Like, missed call, text back, review campaigns, or social planner, if that's what we want to say, whatever it is, right? If we go there and we have a conversation with someone and we're like, how many reviews do you have? And we recognize that that's the gap. That's the thing that Nick's going to be selling to that person. Later on, he could add on any additional features at additional costs. But for that particular thing, I think would make a huge, huge difference to consider.
So I got a question.
Sure.
The way I got my SaaS set up, if you go to the pricing page, it's it's set up basically, who set it up for me was Extendly, but
Yeah.
but I tweaked it just a little bit, but basically stays within the same structure or format, right? Which is, you get these
Sure.
features for $99, you get these features for $247, and you get these features for $497, right? So so I guess what I can, like, I start them off with that 99, hit them up with that 99, and just give them that one feature. Is that basically what we're talking about? It's like, make sure that within that 99, I know there's a minimal amount of features that have to come with the SaaS, right? Just by default, right? But within that, just add that one feature or whatever it is that I'm selling.
That's right. I also would never charge $99, like, ever, for this. It's way too low, personally, in my opinion. I think that's just like not something I would ever do. But it's your choice, obviously. If you want to do that, I would only do 197 as the lowest price possible. But the key is the features don't matter. The result is all that matters. The feature is completely irrelevant. The result is the only thing that matters. So the other things that are,
So how do you actually get them to click on the button, sign up themselves? Do you want them doing that, or do you just say, give me your credit card number and I'll put it in, you put it in for them?
that would be how I would be selling, but that's not the mass way to sell, right? You can't sell that way in a mass format. In a mass format, you would have to like be able to present it to a bunch of people and then sell it by them signing up, which
Yeah. I have a question about that. Like,
Sure.
can we do the webinars, the sales webinars? I had another question with um this one. Like, what's the best place to do the sales webinars for our for selling our SaaS business? Like, if we are focusing on one niche at one time, like, to be honest, I'm focusing on all the niches right now, because like with Extendly I can onboard any type of client, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll not have a problem with onboarding, but yeah, and like I don't have to run any ads for them, so I can also have the templates from Apex, so that will be easy for me to provide all the ad templates for every niche. But the main thing is that where can we do the sales webinars, like for example, for Extendly and other tools, like the softwares who are selling, like the softwares like Extendly and Apex, they market themselves on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And they collab with some partner, like the high level experts. So the thing is that can we also partner with some people, and like can we also show us on YouTube about a software, and like with some people who are like a real estate expert or a
Of course.
chiropractic expert. So yeah,
Of course.
how can we find
Absolutely.
those people? How can we find those people?
LinkedIn, your communities, outbound prospecting, making an offer to someone that has access to your audience is called Dream 100 prospecting. It's basically the idea of the one-to-many approach. So, when I work with attorneys, if I go to an attorney that is the board of certain attorneys of the East Coast, I know he has access to hundreds of attorneys. So if I'm giving him something that I believe will be valuable, not just for him, but for all of his attorneys, that's how I get that offer in place. Most people do it through advertising. That's the majority of how most people do it. At the high level, they run ads, they offer a free trial for a very particular result that allows them to sign up. And then when they sign up, you just have an onboarding format that's like, hey, just focus on this specific thing. So it's easy for you. If they ask questions about the other stuff, you can say, I'm more than happy to share that right now, but just let's try to stay focused. You don't want to get distracted. It's like when you're flying a plane for the first time, you don't want to press every single button. Let's just focus on the one thing here that we need to do to make sure that we're being safe. If you try to press a million buttons, you're going to get all screwed up and it's going to hurt your experience, right? So that's the format that to answer both your questions at the same time, as to what Nick was asking before. Nick, you had a follow-up?
Yeah, I was just I got lost with what the other gentleman was saying.
He was asking how to basically do like one-to-many sales.
Okay. So I guess my question was that format that, you said, so you would take the credit card, you would charge each one individually. Because I think that's what I'm going to be doing, because I'll be talking to some people.
That's for the beginning format, right? That's the beginning. Like you're not going to do that the entire time you're running your SaaS, because eventually you're going to run ads. But for the beginning, like that's the easiest way. The point of sale format is to get the credit card and just have them pay.
Right. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. And don't even introduce all the other stuff to them. I mean, just confuse them.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping it simple,
and
the easiest way
and
to do it.
like
And
and
you said
like
the 197 price is probably the lowest you would go.
Yeah, I wouldn't do lower than 197. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't do that.
Maybe I go the 147 and then 247 and then I don't know. Okay.
Or just go to 197 and don't overthink it.
Right.
Just in your head, if you're going to go speak to anyone at a wellness facility, how many clients do they need to make back $197? 2?
Mm-hmm.
Like pretty much every single person there is probably going to make money from 2 clients. At worst, it would be 3, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
$60, right, is probably the lowest price. So 60 times 3 is 180, and you're charging 197. So I mean, 3 clients, 4 clients, they're already in the green, like, are black, whatever. I wouldn't be concerned at all about the 197 price at all.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so I was asking that the influencer marketing or one-to-many sales, this is like for scaling, not for beginning, right?
Say it again.
I'm saying that the one-to-many sales is for scaling, right? Not for beginning. Because if you
I
want to
mean, you could
scale quickly,
definitely do it in the beginning. I mean, no, I know a lot of people that have, an established business and then incorporate SaaS because they have the established, model for one-to-many sales. If you're just starting out, it's probably going to be a lot harder to convince someone to give you access to their community because you have no reputability to do that, right? But it doesn't mean it's not possible. It's definitely feasible, like sponsoring events and meeting with people that run communities and stuff. So for example, I run a marketing community, a mastermind for marketing agencies called Prospecting on Demand. And Beyond, the owner of Extendly, has sponsored 2 events in a row of our event. Why? Why is Beyond paying money to sponsor my event? It's because I have a group of 80 people that come to our event that can be clients of Extendly. And so it makes sense for him to have a one-to-many sales approach where instead of having to speak to each one of my potential clients one-to-one, whether he was doing that through ads or cold outreach or however, he has me, the owner of the company, present him as someone who is reputable, which he is obviously, to my community and say, hey, he has a solution for a problem that you have and a result that you want, which is, I don't want to do onboarding for HighLevel. I don't want to do support for HighLevel. I want to free up my time. Extendly has that. So why would he pay for that? He would pay that so he can then go ahead and make an offer to all of them. And that's why he sponsored the event 2 times in a row. That's extremely valuable, right? So I sponsor events also. You don't have to pay someone necessarily to get in front of them, but obviously doing that, you have a much higher rate of success. So if you go to
Yeah,
someone and you're like, I will pay you to speak to your audience, or I will give you an affiliate arrangement for your audience, you have a higher
yeah,
chance. Is it
yeah.
easy
That's
to
what I
do
was
that in the
thinking.
beginning? No, it's very hard to do that in the beginning, but it's possible.
Yeah, like I'm thinking that after I'll get like 10 to 20 clients, then after that I can definitely look into that and into paid ads for scaling, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's a good plan.
Yeah. And like I had another question. This is my last question, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah. So my question was that 2 hours ago I had a sales meeting that didn't go well, to be honest. But the thing was that like I was myself confused that how can I sell to this person, because like I started with the missed call text back feature and I jumped on to automations. That's where I was I messed up, because like I think that he was a contractor and he didn't knew about the automations at that
That's
and that
correct.
thing.
That's
So
correct.
yeah. So
Imagine
what
if you're
should
at a
yeah.
restaurant. Imagine if you're at a
Yeah.
restaurant and you order a pizza. Okay. And they're
Yeah.
like, I want a pizza. They're like, cool. So the way we make our pizza is we get all of our dough imported directly from Italy. All of our cheese is sourced strictly from one place in Saudi Arabia. That's the only place we get it. We preheat the oven to 385 degrees. And at this point, in the middle of this waiter's conversation, you're just like, what the hell? What are you doing? What are you talking about? It's like, oh, in order to buy the pizza, I have to tell you about exactly how we get all the ingredients for it and exactly how we make it. You're like, oh, I don't care. I just want the pizza, right? So what you have to do
Yeah.
is just stay radically focused on the end result. For the people that are tech nerds, which is very few, like less than 5% of the people you speak to will be, you can give them a little bit of data and detail, but you explain it in the same metaphor as the plumbing metaphor. It's the easiest metaphor to explain. And then that way, most people will be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And it's like, we're just going to get you the result. That's the focus. We do it through automations and processes. I can show it to you if you want, but it's just going to confuse you. That's what you pay for.
Yeah, so I can just tell them that I can just show them the basic features like the missed call text back, and I can just tell them that this is a form, and I'll integrate a form on your website, and every time leads fills in the form, they'll be redirected to the conversations tab, and you can have a chat and close that appointment. Like I can
That's
talk
right.
like that. So
That's right.
I don't have to go in the tech side. I just have
No.
to
And you tell them up front, like there's a lot of
yeah.
tech involved in this, but what I do is just keep it super simple because we handle all of that. The thing for you to know is you're going to get this result.
Okay, and I should sell them on missed call text back, and one more feature is I think because I do my outreach through Facebook more, so the businesses don't have a website or what we can say is like they don't have a website or the Google My Business profile, so I can sell them on, I guess, um missed call text back and website. I think this, like, what do you think about that?
Say it again, please.
I'm saying that like most of my outreach is through Facebook. So the clients there, they don't have like the websites and the Google My Business profiles. So which features should I sell them onto? Like I think the missed call text back and the websites would be a great fit for them because they don't have a website.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. I mean, if you reached out to someone and said, hey, like, do you want a low cost website to generate more prospects for your business? I think that's a fine outreach message.
And I can also sell them on one more thing, that is the conversations tab, because they don't have the time. Uh, because like they are wasting their time on Facebook and they're posting there. So what I
Nope.
can do is
Nope.
okay,
Don't do it. That's how you're going to get them confused. That's how you're never going to make sales.
okay,
I don't know your name. You have smart AI, but I'm going to be blunt with you in order to really help you because I believe in like full transparency and radical transparency. And you need to hear this bluntly, right? You have a hard time right now on a coaching conversation, not a sales call, elucidating, explaining what you are trying to offer. You are having a hard time doing that. The reason why is because you know there's a lot of features that HighLevel can do, but you're not sure how to take the tech side of your brain and make it into here's the value that I can provide to a business owner. And when that happens on a coaching call, not on a sales conversation. Imagine what's happening on the sales conversation. You're losing them. You're not making it easy for them to understand. Just focus on the result, not how the pizza is made, that you're getting them a pizza, not that you have sundaes and French fries and pizza, just pizza. Just keep it simple. The more simple that you make it, the easier it will be for you. The more practice you get, the easier it will be for you to upsell and add ongoing. The reason that I recommend people do simplify is not to avoid creating more sales opportunities. It's because most people, very bluntly, are rookies at sales or talk themselves out of sales because they don't know how to explain the product. And so when you're saying we have a Snickers and we have a Twix and we have Haribo gummy bears, and we also have, this fudge sundae, we do cold brew coffee on the backside, we also make baby back ribs, and you're just like, what in the hell is happening? How did ribs get connected to Snickers? Where did this happen? What in the world is going on? That's what the experience is like for your prospect. But when you say we make the best baby back ribs, period, there's nothing better than them. They're incredible. You should have them. You will love them. It's going to make their easier. They're not going to say, do you have pizza? It's not how it works. And then when people tell me, well, what if they wanted pizza? It's like, okay, let's use the actual metaphor. You run a barbecue restaurant. Someone comes into your restaurant and says, do you guys make pizza? What do they say? Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go run to the store and get all the things to make. No, we don't do pizza here. Come back when you want barbecue. That's okay. You don't have to work with every single client. This is the problem with a lot of SaaS businesses. You end up having what we call a Frankenstein agency because you have, 10 different features, 10 different clients, 10 different prices. It's impossible to run a business like that. It needs to be simplified. Specific, consistent outreach, one offer focused on a result, easy speed to result, speedy onboarding, stickiness by them using it. Then everything else can come after that. That's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. But you definitely have to practice, and you should come on this call every single Thursday, bluntly, because I will give you blunt feedback versus, yeah, you'll do it. You're good. If you don't keep coming to the call, you are going to have a hard time with this, man. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. I'm only here to help you, man.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, your advices are amazing. Your advices are amazing. I'll surely implement them.
Love it. Good.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear.
And go get Alex's book.
Yes, I agree. 100%. I wrote a book.
Whose book?
My book.
Oh.
Anti-Hustler's Handbook. I'll drop the link.
Wait a minute, hold that up again. Oops,
Is that audiobook available on in audiobook?
No, not yet. Not yet. I will do it eventually, just not right now. Probably not for a few more months, to be honest.
Oh, can you hold that back up again for a second? Let me just screenshot it. I'll get it. Okay, hold on. I'm going to someone else's screen now because
I dropped the link for you in the chat. To go on
perfect. Okay, let me see.
It's $15. You can buy it on Amazon and they'll send it to you. Took me 2 years to write the book. It's really great. I love it. I will eventually do the audiobook. I just have no interest in doing it right now because oh my God. I put so much time into it. I just want to chill a little bit. So I'll do it eventually.
What does this do? Does it go over scripts? What is it? What is in a nutshell here?
In a nutshell, the book's idea is about people understanding how to redefine success for themselves instead of just saying success. I ask a lot of people, like, do you want to make more money? And they're like, yeah, I want to make more money. I'm like, okay, what do you do with that money? No idea. Do you want to be successful? Yeah, I want to be successful. How do you define success? I have no idea. I want to have stability. What does stability mean? I don't know. I want to be free. I want to have freedom. What does freedom mean? I have no idea. A lot of entrepreneurs don't actually do any of the deep work at all. There's a 3-step process of the anti-hustle framework called the define, design, and do format. Defining exactly what you want from your life and identifying how we can develop that. Designing a roadmap, a yellow brick road to achieving it, right? Versus just kind of wandering in a forest. And then doing. Most entrepreneurs just skip to doing. They don't really define anything. They don't really design anything. They kind of just do. A lot of people do for a really long time. And some people do, like, just by sheer force of will, they create a good amount of money and opportunity, but they have no fulfillment, no enjoyment. And the reason why is because it's just a never-ending race. You're climbing a mountain that has no summit. You're running a race that has no finish line. It's impossible to win. And so an indefinite race guarantees burnout. You can't possibly avoid burnout if you never stop running.
That's
truth. And so I'm a very big believer of this. I think the hustle culture in the world that we live in today is extremely dangerous. I think worse is that social media allows hustle culture to be bred because we use just like hyperbolic terms that don't have definition or is defined differently by every person. So people will listen to like Grant Cardone or Gary Vaynerchuk or Tony Robbins or whomever they like are very inspired by, Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, whoever it is. And they'll just be like, I want that level of success, but they don't even know what the hell that means. They have no idea what that's defined as. And so, I'm a big believer of defining it. And so what I've did is I put together a book that's a choose your own adventure. So you take an assessment at the beginning of the book to identify, where hustle culture has you in its grips most. And then where it has you in its grips most, it takes you to the chapter that will benefit you the most. And then the tool that you use to get out of the grips of hustle culture so you can live the anti-hustle lifestyle. The book comes with an online companion that has all of the tools. This is the Wheel of Life, the Anti-Hustler's Wheel of Life. And so it's broken down into 8 chapters, which is awareness, recognition, focus, and prioritization, personal relationships and boundaries, professional relationships and profits, spending and saving money, team management, energy preservation, present, future self-accountability, and growth and change. Took me about 2 years to write it, but it's really important to me. I will tell you why as we leave. I am 31 years old. I had open heart surgery 2 years ago when I was 29, which sucked. Terrible experience. My wife was 5 months pregnant with my little man, who's the best thing in the whole world. I love this guy so much.
Nice.
And when you have that experience at my age, I think it very quickly puts into reality what really matters. And I think a lot of people my age don't have those experiences, thankfully. And a lot of people wait until someone they know has that experience, or unfortunately they have that experience, or they never get to know because unfortunately some horrible accident happens, which is just the reality of life. That does happen. And so, if I can make an impact by anyone understanding like why the hell am I so burnt out? Why am I struggle busting so hard? Why am I comparing myself to someone online that I literally I have no idea who this person is. I have no idea what they're saying is true or not. Everything they could say is a complete lie. Why does it matter at all? That's how just human beings are. That's what social media has done to us. And I think giving ourselves a little more grace and doing some deep work on identifying what really matters to us helps a lot. I wrote the book not from a place of being sanctimonious. I wrote it because I needed it too, but because 2 years after the surgery, sometimes I fall back into old habits and I'm just doing things. I'm not defining or designing. I'm just doing it because I'm used to doing that. I'm used to doing hustling.
How's your heart now?
Good. I'm good. 3 years, October 15th will be 3 years, which is mind blowing. It's hard to fathom that. But yeah, I'm good. Thank God. I have a less than 5% chance of having surgery again. So good numbers.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good for sure. Hopefully it stays that way and get to live a long time, be with my little dude. So it is the bomb. And that's why I wrote the book, which was the most labor intensive thing I've ever done in my life. And it was great. And also I hated it and it was great. And I also hated it. That's the experience.
Hey, Alex, thank you, man. I appreciate you. And thanks for the story, man. That's awesome.
My pleasure.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes.
This is Alec.
Oh my
Nice.
God.
Yeah, he's so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's actually right here. There he is. Right there.
There he is.
Ellie.
Yeah.
Hi. All right, fam. I'm gonna go say hi to him right now. I'll talk to y'all later.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Want to learn Go High Level in a structured format? Check out the GHLacademy.com by Extendly. We guarantee to save you 6 months of wasted subscription costs for HighLevel. Just visit the GHLacademy.com.